Hi everybody, it's me, Carrie. I forgot to set up my my little thingy so I could look for comments. So I apologize. Let me do my computer. It's kind of going to be out of the way. So I don't know how well I will see you guys. But at least there will be something, and maybe I will be able to view. So, oops. Let me turn off the volume and go like this. Oh my gosh. Ah! Okay, so I know one person is watching. I can't see who you are. I'm going to try and move my laptop in a place where maybe I can see. Gosh, I just so wanted to make sure I got in this second video for everybody. Hopefully you have watched the She Sells Seashells video that I posted. It was posted live on volume, posted on my Facebook page, facebook.com/MemoryINKers, and on my YouTube channel. So I am going to just pick up where I left off because for the video, I only had 30 minutes and it was an instructional video. And I knew it was going to be hard to complete all the cards. So I just did the basics. So I'm going to go back now and finish showing you how I designed these cards. So this was what I taught, how to use the blending brushes to make this pretty background scene. The sun, in case you didn't see it, was I just used a piece of cardstock with a hole punched out of it to make the sun. And then I taught how to fold this piece and add some dimension, which I didn't really add a whole lot. So I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, I was kind of rushed. Also, I want you to know that I used Paradise Palms stamp set. This did carry over and it is in the new catalog. And the Palms dies. You will see that this top of the palm tree, I'm hoping you guys can see it, came out of this die. So when you got yours, you did have to trim yours off if you purchased the kit. I can make more kits. So the kit was $50. It comes with a lot of stuff. It comes with a blending brush. So if you want to get this kit, just let me know. But I do have to make them, so you're not going to like get them tomorrow. So just so you know. Okay, let me set that aside. And here we go. So basically what I did with this, I took some crumb cake and I bent wherever those little tabbies were. They're kind of like sticking out. They kind of show, you know how palm trees are. They've got, you know, it's like they grow in pieces, and every time they grow, you see, I don't know if this is factual. Not a horticulturist or whatever you would be if you knew about palm trees. So that's all I'm doing is I'm finding all of those little bends and just creating. And then if you wanted to, you can take your brush and highlight the edges too. So you get kind of more of, like I have here, more dimension in your palm tree base. Then we are done with this. I took the old olive and my blending brush. I did mention on there that you don't really need to have, when you buy the blending brushes, you get 3. But you don't need to have them in any color because you can just clean them off and then go to your next color. But I use them a lot, and so I just put what they are on the back. And like my yellow looks a little funky, but it's still yellow. And you can clean them, you can wash them and let them dry. But I just didn't do that. So if you want to use your blending brushes to get these edges, you will need to curve it a little bit. And I hope you can see that. See how it is darker there? I'm kind of looking at my computer. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's a little hard to see on video when you do stuff like this. And I do not have, like some craft people, I do not have a fancy thing that lets me zoom down. I actually looked into that. And the ones that probably do what I'm thinking of are just not worth my budget. They must make a lot more money than me or have a lot more followers, you know. So I don't know. I'm not saying never say never, because I do think it's cool. I also purchased one that I thought was going to help, but I couldn't, it wouldn't talk to my computer. And when I wrote the company, which it's a name brand, I don't want to say because, you know, I don't want to upset anybody, and other people may have it, and I don't know, they might be more computer savvy. I don't know. But they told me they couldn't help me with that particular product. And yet when I ordered it, it said it was the new product. So I don't know if it's too new, so new that they couldn't help me. Anyway, it's going back to, it's being returned. So anyway, hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. This, you can see now why 30 minutes was not going to be enough for me to complete these cards. But I did decide that this time I wanted to do something a little bit more advanced. I often do very simple things on volume, except when I've shown the stamp apparatus. That's just fun. So this one is a little bit more advanced. And so if you want to do that, and then if you want to, you know, set it down and add some this way, you can do that as well. So you can see that now this is very highlighted. So I wanted to make sure I got this done before I started putting things together. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add just a little bit of highlighting to the tips of my grass. Not a ton. It's fairly simple. And maybe I'll do a little bit of that. Not much though. Just to darken it a little bit more. There you go. Okay, so that is all the blending that I'm going to do on that card. And now I want to start putting it together. I am using liquid glue, but before I put this piece down, it's important that I know where this piece is going to go, right? I want it to be, and I know it's going to be curved, so I want it to be near the sun. So I'm going to let that sit there for a minute while I put adhesive on this. So it might hang off the card a little bit. I don't know, but that's okay. You know, trimming is good. So now I can look at this and go, okay, I get it. It's going to go about there. And then with liquid glue, just hold it for a second. And then it sticks down. And then I can stick my palm tree on there. Again, using my liquid adhesive. You can cut stuff like this out with the adhesive backed paper, and it does work really good, except when you have to poke out a lot of holes. Makes it interesting. Or maybe it's just me. Could be just me, user error, that kind of thing. But most of it is because I forget. I have them in there, and when I use them, I really like them, but then I just totally forget. So now this was just cut out, because like I said, this was like a whole palm tree. So now I'm just going to set it like so. And it's not on there perfectly, so I'm going to shift it a little bit. And my palm is hanging over. I'm not going to cut it off unless I go to put it in the envelope and I see that it doesn't quite fit right. Then maybe I won't. Now, if that bothers you, that you can see a little bit of that, I think on this one I might have trimmed it a little, like the little circle that's on the end. Okay, So now I'm just going to put the grass. Now the grass is too big. It's too big for the card, and I don't want to do this. I don't want that. I want it to be hanging off, and it is going to be too long for a note card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive just in a couple of places on the leaves. And I gave everybody who got the kit a quarter of a sponge dauber, and I forgot to grab mine. I don't think this is my glue one, but it'll do. Because I want to move this out of the way. I kind of want to spread that around a little bit. So that it, now I took it almost all off, so I got to put it back on. And then I'm going to put just a stick of it there. So that's just so that you can keep it from getting too messy when you go to put it down on your card. Then I also want to be sure that it sticks at the bottom. So I'm going to put a very thin strip right there. Okay? Now I can set this on and adjust it how I want it. And just hold it for a second. Now I can take my snips, and I do see that that one probably needs to come down just a smidge. There we go. And I just flip it over and I just trim off all of the excess that is hanging over. It might fit in the card, you know, in the envelope with this excess. It might. But I don't know. And like I said, I'm going to leave, well, I'll just go ahead and trim it. There we go. So now there is your basic card. And then all I did then was stamp the embellishment or the sentiment, which I apparently did not pull out. Could have sworn that I did, but I did not. This stamp set is so new to me that I have not even pulled all of the, I haven't even put it together yet. It's true. It happens. Okay. So now I gave everybody a small piece of basic white, and I'm using a different sentiment. So, and I don't have the label on it. So let's see if I can even get this to stamp where I want it. Okay. I need to figure this out. There we go. Hopefully I do this right now. We'll see. Nope. Not good. Perfection is overrated, people. Keep telling yourself that. Okay, so it's a little crooked. That's all right. That is what snips are for, right? So my snips have stuff stuck all over them. I am going to just let it be a little bit crooked. Okay, so now see, it doesn't seem as weird. It's a little weird, I admit. But so, you know, don't panic about stuff. I mean, you can use a Stamp-A-Ma-Jig. You can get, you know, more creative if you want to. But why? When paper snips are inexpensive, and especially when it's straight lines like this, just go for it. So there. So that's kind of fun and whimsical, right? So I'm going to take this, and everybody got a package of these, which comes with 2 of these foam adhesive strips inside. These are my scissors I use for ribbon cutting. I don't know where my other ones went off to. There they are. They went into the wrong spot. So, all right. So I don't see any comments. Let's see, live chat. Had it in the wrong spot. So say hi so I know you're watching. If you're watching, go ahead and ask questions. And then I just made this one a happy birthday card instead of a retirement wishes. Although I think it's like perfect for retirement, right? Because everybody wants to go on vacation. Thank you, Sharon. I appreciate knowing that you are watching. All right, so now I'm going to take some of these awesome faux glass seashells, which I don't have any on the original card. But I decided that this one could maybe use it because it's a little bit, you know, funky. So funky is good, right? I think I just heard somebody come home. Might be my son. I'm not sure. But anyway, they are sneaking back upstairs, so it's okay. So there we go. It's kind of hard to see these clear ones, these white ones. They might look better down farther, but maybe if I put it up so it's a little bit more on the green, you can see it. But there you go. 2 different cards, so you can see, and I did make the sun a little bit bigger on this one. Must have had a bigger circle punch. I don't know. I don't remember doing that, but, and they are slightly different, so it's kind of fun. I actually like the way the sand came out better on that one. Funny, huh? Okay, so that is how you complete that card. And again, it is a note card. If you don't want it to be a note card, go ahead and put it onto, obviously not, well, you could do it on white, but see, you could actually mount this onto just another piece of cardstock and make it a full-size card if you want. This would actually be cute also in a scrapbook page. So there is that card. And then we're going to go to the next one. Let me peel that off and remember to clean it. Okay. Alrighty. Hi, Mona. Hi, Sharon. Again, thank you. All right, so now we're going to go to the one where I use the Waves of Inspiration dies. And this one I did not put any sentiment on it, so I really didn't use the stamps at all. And this is the original one. And it is a fun fold, okay, which I did not get to show you guys how to do during volume. The other thing I screwed up, I was so worried about time, I totally forgot to color the back of this. I think it looks okay white. But I think it was a little bit more fun when it looked like sky. Can I add it? Well, let's see. Let's see if I can add it after the fact. I make no promises. So I am going to take the, is this the color that I want? No. I am going to take the Tahitian Tide, which is this color. So I'm going to see if I can make this work. Everybody, cross your fingers. Okay? Cross your fingers, say a prayer, light a candle, whatever you think it takes. So I'm just going to start. I'm going to keep it up, but I am going to start it off the page. And I think I will grab a scrap of paper, just a scrap of typing paper, and I'm going to slide that underneath and see if it does any good. Let me see. We'll see. Nope, that's too crooked. What is it I say, ladies, and any gentlemen that may be watching? Perfection is overrated. Yeah, that doesn't fit either. Okay. So, this is why when you watch my videos and you're making one of my card kits, I always suggest that you watch and then make. Because if I make a mistake, then you have the opportunity to fix it on yours. It's kind of sort of working, right? I don't mind that it's giving me a dark blue edge. I think that's kind of fun. Although I don't want it here, but I do want some blue in there. It's not really going to stick to the silver. I might have to wipe it down after, but it's working. Yay! I love when a plan comes together. Or in my case, if I just would have a plan or follow the plan that I created, because I did have a plan. I promise all of you, I always do. It just doesn't always come out the way I expect. Oh, funny. So then I'm just going to go and I'm going to try to fill in a little blue in a couple of places. So see, crisis averted. I like this one better, but I don't mind that one either. So there you go. And I showed you guys how to do the shaker on the first video. Thanks for the cross fingers. I love it. Okay, so now this was the other piece that I showed you how to score it at 5.5. Okay, so when you scored it this way because it made the lump in the center. And then I told you to, so you scored it, and then I told you to flip it over so you could score it this way, because that's the proper folding. So this is the front of your card, and this is cut exactly 5.5 by 4.25. So it is made to look like the full front of the card. Close that. So now I'm just going to take my adhesive, and I'm just going to put it onto this flap. That way I don't have to worry about where it's going to go. And then I am going to just very carefully, now with liquid glue you have a minute, so I can stand it up and make sure it goes where I want it. And then just hold it for just a second. Give the liquid glue a minute to adhere. Okay. I might turn this over. And there we go. So now you can see, here's the front of your card, and then when you open it, it's going to do that. So that when you stand it up, okay, it gets the Z fold, which then if you wanted to use the stamp set and decorate another wave or whatever in here, you can see how it would look really pretty sitting on somebody's table. And you would still have room to write your sentiment. So that is the Shaker Fun Fold card that we did. I hope you guys liked that one. This is another one. I did not add any of the faux sea glass, but certainly you could. It could be really cute. Okay. Oh, I know what I wanted to show you guys about this one. So when I cut it, let me grab just the pieces to my, because I'm not going to pull out the whole machine. Wrong one. Sorry about this, you guys. Okay, so let's assume that this is in my Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. This is the magnetic plate, and I put the paper down, right? And then I took the die and I set it on the paper like this, all right? And then I looked for a spot. I chose this spot right here where there was like just a reminder to me in the, it cuts complete, but I just picked a spot for whatever size. You don't have to pick that spot. And when I put it through the machine, I took my cover sheet. This is number 3, I think. And I didn't put it over the whole thing. See how this is hanging off? So when I rolled it through my machine, there was no pressure here to cut this piece. And that is how I got the white piece cut. And then when you have it, you're going to end up with it hanging off. I wish I had one here. I wish I had an open kit, but I sold out. I can make more if you want one. But what happens is this is sort of hanging on there, and you just have to pull up all the pieces and snip it off because you don't want any of the white. You can save it because you could use it then for another kit, but you just cut it off, and that's how I ended up with a big wave-shaped hole in my basic white cardstock that was in the kit. So I hope that makes sense. I'll try to do another video where I actually cut it so you guys can see it, but I wanted you to know how I got that to stop there, because this back piece, this piece was cut with this die, and if I would have ran it all the way through, it would have cut all the way. See what I'm saying? And I didn't want that. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you can see what I'm talking about, where I stopped it, you know, so it was covered. I think I'm over explaining this, but so it was covered to there, so it didn't cut that piece. I hope that makes sense to you guys. Okay, so that is the Awesome Shaker card and Fun Fold. And I don't know what I did with the die set, but here we go. Okay, on to the next card that I did not finish. This one's pretty simple. You guys probably could figure it out. This was a bonus piece, this gold piece. Mine is actually in brass because I ran out of gold. And you only got this piece. You didn't get the rest. It was just this piece of gold cut out in this C shape. But I wanted to show you. Now, I did back mine on a piece that I used the embossing folder on, which gave it that beautiful shape. You can, I'm hoping you guys can see that. You can see all the shell shapes. That is actually how, what I did with this piece. So it kind of looked like this. Hopefully you guys can see. This is our, I think this is called pearlized. Hang on, let me look. Pearl Essence specialty paper. It's in the annual catalog. So I cut it out with the folder, and then I just used the matching die. There's a few other pieces in here, but this just lays on top of it. You just line it up like so, and it will cut it out. Okay? So that was how that gold piece came about. That came in your kit. Okay. So I keep all of these together. It's probably a little thick for this this case, but you know, it works. Or you can keep it separate if that makes you happy. All right. So now I'm going to set that aside because we're not going to make that card. And I'm just going to show you kind of how I completed this one. So I'm going to fold it in half and score and set that aside for a minute. What did I do with the sentiment piece? There it is. All right. So I started to color this, and it's really, I did this one really light, which I don't know how well that's going to come out for you guys, but I'm going to do it softer than this one. So you guys can see the difference. Also, this card base is larger than what our regular cards are, because it is from our Memories and More card kits, which comes with this size card and then the note card like I did for that first card. This is the same size card as in the next card I'm going to show, but that card pack does not come with any note cards, which is kind of cool, personally, I think, because I make more cards than I do note cards in practice when I'm mailing them out. Although note cards are cool too, I will say. Okay, so I just want you guys to be aware of that. All right, so now I am going to color this a little bit more. And I'm going to add a little bit more pink, I think. I'm not sure where I put everything. There it is. I really did not clean up, really, after that video. I just sort of repiled my cards so I could kind of do them in the same order as they were done in the video. So again, I'm going to tap some of this off because it is very bright. And I'm just going to add a little bit more pink to my shells. Oh, I got a little pink. Oh, that's a shell there, so it's okay if it's a little pink. And then this one. I love to color, and even though this is technically not coloring, it kind of is, right? So that's with that pink. And then I am going to use a little bit. Now, on my original, I used Orchid Oasis, which is kind of a bluish, lavenderish color, if you look at it. It is lavendery, but I think it kind of lends a little bit more to the blue. But I decided I want this one to be a little bit lighter, like I said. So I'm going to use Pool Party, which is kind of a blue-green. And I am going to just add that to my shells. Give them a little bit dimension in their color. And let's see what I can do with this one. So just take your time and just add a little bit of a color to them. Also, I can see where I messed up a little bit with the green here. So I think I'm going to use Parakeet Party. Is that right? I think that's what I used. I can't remember now, you guys, what I grabbed, because I have a bunch of greens sitting here. And I just kind of want to go over this a little bit to cover up where it pinked out. And I'm going to add a little bit more to some of these. Oh, look, I missed a shell. I missed a shell. I missed a shell. But see, there was enough left on there for me to go ahead. This is why it's fun to have more than one of these. And a little bit more blue there. So you can then just color it until you are happy with it. And then if you want to like spread it around and kind of even it out around the edges, you can do that. And in between here a little bit, I'm going to add a little more color in between the shells. Okay. And this pearlescent paper, oh, it's just, it lends itself to water, right? It's just very cool. Okay, so pile that over. I'm hoping I didn't lose anybody yet. I still see 3 of you watching, but I don't think everybody stuck around. And that's fine. So to stick this one down, I am going to use my Stamp & Seal. Is that the bottom? This is the bottom. Right here. So it will hold the that ribbon, because that ribbon it's I hate to use the word holy because I don't mean as in religious, but it has a lot of holes in it. So I definitely want it to hold. So I am going to set that right there. Fold it over. Now you can squeeze this and make this a little bit thinner, and then you would end up with, you know, a different look if you wanted to do that. And then I'm going to adhere this to a piece of soft sea foam, which sort of blends into the background that I made. So it's very subtle. And I put that on terribly not straight. So I'm going to have to trim that down. But then that would go onto the front of your card. And then, of course, you're going to stamp your sentiment on here. And then I just took and I just brushed the edges of my sentiment here to get it to have some color. And then I added some of the beautiful faux sea glass shells on there because I thought they were fun, especially with this friends are like seashells, you collect them along the way sentiment. I just think that's really cute. So that is how that card was created. it definitely used the most of the different colors and my multitude of blending brushes. Okay, so now the last one, a lot of people asked me about this die set. So this die comes in one of the bigger containers, and I put it on a magnetic sheet that was smaller, and I did manage to get them all on. And it will then fit inside of my, because I like to keep them with the stamp set that they go with. But I wanted to show you, it does have that awesome mesh. It has a couple of leaves, 3 of them. I think, I haven't used them yet, but I think it's possible that one cuts out. I don't know. I haven't played with it. It has flowers. Okay. It has, oh, here's more leaves. It has snowflakes. I'm 99.100% sure that this one will follow that, but let me see. Yeah, it will. And then the seashells, this shell can be reflected with this. So this cuts out the innards and this cuts out the outer. And then this shell is on there. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 technically seashells with this set. So, and that is called the Chic Dies because it goes with this awesome Season of Chic stamp set. And this is a bundle. It's in the catalog. It doesn't look like I've written down the prices yet on this one. It's so new. So new. I just love it. Okay. So now this is what the finished card looks like. And this is the one where I completely ran out of time, but it's the simplest card, and it doesn't require any blending brushes, although certainly you could use them on it. But I look at this envelope. I mean, the inside is very pretty, and although I'm not using, there is a paper in the Designer Series paper that kind of goes with this. I didn't use it for my card, but that's okay. I mean, look at this. And when you fold it, look at how the back looks. Is that not just gorgeous? Yeah, I like doing that, Sharon. I like storing them inside. You have to be careful because sometimes it gets a little tight and you don't want it to like start to cut into your dies. So kind of be careful how you place them in there just to make sure that doesn't happen. Okay. So now for this card, I'm going to pull out all the pieces. I definitely suggest that you stamp your sentiment first. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the same sentiment. You are amazing beyond measure, and I used basic black for that. Actually, not basic black. Memento tuxedo black. We don't have basic black ink anymore. We just use the tuxedo, and we have stays on. So we have both of those. So I'm just going to turn it over, ink it up really good, and then I am going to stamp it at the bottom. So there we go. All right, and that is so that I think it'd be a little bit harder to do when they're on there. Now, the reason I want to finish this card is because there is a little trick to these. And you're either going to love me or hate me. I don't know. It could be both. I don't know. Again, I'm going to be putting on some ribbon. So, and it's going to be on this side. So I don't need a lot because this is going to go up on dimensionals. I just need enough to hold the ribbon where I want it to be. This ribbon is so cool. It is called Natural Finish Ribbon, and it doesn't even have a color, but it's kind of a crumb cakey color, I think. And then the this one is called, it's in Petal Pink, and it is called Soft Polyester Ribbon. And when they say soft, they are not kidding. This is some stinking soft ribbon. It is fabulous. Okay, now to hold that ribbon, I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back of this ribbon just to hold it in place. And I'm just going to center it on there. Now I can see that this one is not exactly even Steven, so I wonder how Steven got to be even. Do you ever hear stuff like that and go, I wonder where that came from? My husband and I do that. It's like weird. Some of them you can look up. I still don't know what is For Pete's Sake. Who was Pete? Who was he? If you know the answer to that, I'm telling you, I will just be thrilled to hear who Pete was, why they say For Pete's Sake. I know Dead Ringer. I know what that one is. Although why it means you look like somebody, that doesn't make any sense to me, but because it doesn't go with the story of the guy who's dead with the bell on his finger and he wasn't really dead kind of story. You guys have all heard that. Okay. Wow. I am really struggling with getting that where I want it. Okay, now I'm going to put this up on, you can either use Stampin' Dimensionals or your kit did come with a boatload of these. Now, some people are really funny about this, and I'm going to be too. And I will tell you that behind on the back of many cards are little secrets. One of those little secrets is called Scotch tape. Because I know this ribbon for sure frays. Plus, I want it to stay. So, no one's going to see it, right? So, who cares? We're crafters. We use Scotch tape in like a lot of stuff, right? So I'm just using pieces of this. I'm not going to get carried away with it. I don't think you need it everywhere. I think just on the sides here is sufficient. Save that piece. I'm going to stick this one in the middle just to keep it from pressing down, you know, sagging in. And then you're just going to peel all these pieces off. And like I said, if you want to use dimensionals. But once I have these out and I'm dimensionating, I don't know, pick a word. Then I just go ahead and keep using them. And then I'm putting this on crooked. Like so. I'm taking this one, which I can see I need to trim this one a little bit. Like I said, these are, they like have almost like a plastic coating on them, this stuff. So they are a trip to take apart. I'm not kidding you. And it just looked so pretty. I decided to do it anyway. But they are a lot of work. I'm going to tell you that for sure. So I laid this one down just flat. I did want to use a strong adhesive, so I would suggest definitely a tear and tape or a Stampin' Seal. And I'm just going to cross that over on the ribbon like so. Then this piece is going to get put onto this piece. I'm going to pull out my trusty liquid adhesive. I did break down and buy one of those tubes, if you guys have seen them, little bottles that you squirt this into, and then it gives you more of a fine tip. But I just got it, and I've only just started working with it, and I'm not 100% sure it makes enough difference to, but like I said, I just got it, so it might make more difference than I think to switch your bottle over. Because I'm cheap and I don't want to waste any of it. You know, why pour it into another bottle? It comes with a bottle that has a pretty sharp point. It's not super sharp. And then, of course, you know, you have this end, which I never use. I don't think I've ever used that end of it, you guys. Have you? Do you guys use this or a similar? And do you use that other side? Because I never, ever, I don't think, ever, never, ever have I used it. So now this is going to fit on here pretty precisely, which is why the liquid glue is so nice, because you can wiggle it if you need to get it to fit. And then you just want to hold it for a minute. And then this is going to go up on either Stampin' Dimensionals or some of the adhesive strips, whatever makes you happy. I'm going to put this like that because it is going to be on top of that one. And that one is kind of lifted a little bit because of the ribbon. So what's cool about that is it kind of makes this shell look like it's leaning on its side. You know, just sort of tossed into the net kind of look. I'll put that right there. Ta-da. All right, now, in the kit, I put inside sticky notes. These little tiny shells, which I cut out of Petal Pink and that really super duper strong shiny stuff. So if you peel it apart, you're going to end up with this, and then you're going to end up with that. Okay, see how I've got them stuck like that? And then with any luck, this one will do that. This one's not going to be as cooperative because it is, it was so hard to cut them, you guys. I ran them through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss like, I don't know, 8 times plus. I used shims and everything, and I just think this stuff was not made to cut like this. But you know me, never give up, never surrender. Me and Buzz Lightyear, we're gonna just fight to get things the way we want them. And I'm trying to not lose these little pieces, which is why I want them to stay stuck to this sticky note, if I possibly can. So I probably should use this. Take your pick tool instead of my snips. So if you got the kit, you might be mad at me while you're doing this part. I understand. I'm kind of mad at me too. Don't worry if it tears like that. It just makes it thinner. No biggie. In fact, I think after a while, for some of the kits, I did kind of peel the backing off to make it thinner, hoping it would cut better. But honestly, it's like this glittery part has like a little bit of plastic or something in it. So, oh, that's nice. Let me see if I can get this one out and to stick. See why half an hour just wasn't going to cut it for this video. All right, but I do want to make sure I show you guys how to put these together. Cuz they're some work. So, that one just is fighting me, isn't it? Look at that. Off. I feel like that old, spot thing. Something darn spot or something. I don't know. Some old movie with some crazy lady who's trying to get blood or something off her hands. And, I don't know. I'm rambling because this is being ridiculously stuck for me. I did not have that problem when I was making mine. So I apologize to you kit makers. All right, that's going to be good enough. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to cut, they're sticky on both sides of this. So I'm going to cut a thin strip that has the sticky. And I am going to put it on like so. I want to just get a little bit there and all the way down. And then I'm just going to trim it so that you can't see it from behind too much. Like that. I know this is crazy. I know you're all going, Carrie, what the heck? I wanted to put them inside each other. And so, yes, it's crazy. I know that I make you guys nuts when I do stuff like this. But this is for an avid stamper. This is not for a newbie. A newbie would just throw up their hands and run screaming from the room. Let's see. The wide end of the glue bottle is good for moving the glue to thin it out. Oh, good idea, Karen. Never thought of that. All right. I love that. Makes me feel so much better about everything. Okay, so now getting these put in place and then trying to get them to stick to that piece of sticky note under there and not to my sticky fingers. Come on. There we go. And this teeny tiny one. Let's see if I can get that one in there. No, it doesn't want to go. Okay, so anyway, fight with that. I'm sorry. I know you hate me. I just kept doing that until I got it right where I wanted it to be. And I'm moving them now. Honestly, you guys, if you're not making a video, this is going to work so much better for you, seriously. But that is how I just pieced them together. I put them on the back of a sticky note, and then I was able to put, once I got them in place, I was able to put a long strip of this in place. So, do what you can to get them where you want. Let me see if this will work for me. Really? Really? Oh, you guys, I know some of you are laughing or thinking this girl is a complete ditz. Both are appropriate responses. I just want you to know that. All right. So you can just use that if you want and get them to stick this way. Probably easier than trying to use the sticky note, but the sticky note worked for me just fine. And now I lost my other pieces. They are probably stuck to me somewhere. But you get the idea, right? And then you would just stick them on. And then you would do the same thing with this one. And there's the card. Oh my gosh, you guys, I swear to you it worked. If these are just terrible, leave them off. Just go with your gut. So, there you go. That is my cards finishing. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was a nightmare. So, don't hate me forever for that debacle. So, all right, you guys, I will be back tomorrow with something less frustrating and more fun for Saturday Sip. If you like any of the projects, even this one, I can make more kits. Just email me at MemoryINKers@gmail.com and I will be happy to tell you all the details. The kit is $50. It comes with $50 worth of product. Believe it or not, everything is a $50, it's like a $40 value plus $9 to mail it. So, and then if you want to just go shopping and maybe buy some of these and create your own projects, you can go to MemoryINKers.com, which is my Stampin' Up! Website. And please, when you check out, use this hostess code E667ARFD. Don't forget also, I posted, I think yesterday, I have a ton of cards that I need to just give away. So if you would like one and you know that you are not on my mailing list or you're not sure, send me your address. You can comment here, but if you don't want to put it on Facebook, I totally get that. You can just send me an email, MemoryINKers@gmail.com, and just put card in the subject line, and I will be happy to send you some card samples. All right, you guys, have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I appreciate your patience while I went totally insane with these silly baby dies. But, oh, look, I found some of my stuff. Okay, cool. I can finish putting the card together later. All right, guys, have a good one. Bye.